Let's just say you bought a piece of land from a licensed real estate agent and then built a building upon that land and used it for 2 years. Then a worldwide corporation sends you an email saying that it is their land and demands that you give them that land. Would you? What if you said no, and then they disappeared, so that you continued to improve the land, planting fruit trees, wells, and such, advertising your farm at great expense? For 4 more years you worked hard and toiled, until you were contacted by an email again from an agency in Europe telling you that a hearing had been initiated to take your land. Can't be legal, right? You have a duty to protect your property as recognized by squatters' rights and statute of limitations held in the courts. And in essence, that's what happened to me. In 2009, I bought the domain filesfinder.com. Then, a good friend of mine and I built a website on that domain. Using another programming friend, we showed the availability of Files service live on the site. 2 years later, in 2011, Verizon contacted me saying that Fios was their trademark and that I needed to hand over the Files Finder domain. I responded immediately that I disagreed, my justifications for my ownership, and offered to work with them. Verizon said they would pursue legal action, and that was it. I didn't hear from them until 2015. During that 4-year stretch, the team and I put in considerable work. I spent hours building up Files Finder, hundreds of links manually on Yahoo and the sites I owned or managed. I also paid thousands of dollars out to the partners for their work on Files Finder. Verizon didn't want to hear anything about that. Though the statute of limitations of 2 years for a tort were able to pass, Verizon paid for a mediator in a closed-door, corrupt process to take the domain from me without a court order. I was able to stop it several times, but then they hired an outside lawyer who threatened to sue me personally and the partners for willful engagement of $100,000 each. While I knew I was right, money was tight, and I had a baby on the way. At the last minute, I got a very lucrative job offer and was scared that this event would prevent me from providing for my family, or even myself. I stopped fighting and they were able to get the domain. I asked for compensation for years of hard work I put in, but none was given. See, Verizon, or any publicly traded company, always claim that they want to innovate, but that is actually the opposite of the goals of corporations. Corporations are designed to either make profits or protect assets. Innovation is competition, and competition is expensive. There are extreme incentives for companies to either break or make laws rather than innovate. Further, established companies have all the capital, money, and resources that small companies don't. Monopolies naturally form, which is why regulation is so important. Sometimes more is needed. Capitalism is good, but we needed an amendment to our Constitution to stop slavery. Capitalism is profit over efficiency, or justice. Instead of Verizon innovating and coming up with Files Finder, or even just paying a strategist to buy those domains, they elected the bully route. In fact, Patrick Flaherty, the same person that contacted me in 2011, was also the same person to file in 2015. Profiting from the government, rent seeking. This is how the story of Files Finder relates to net neutrality and government regulation.